Cool.
My name is Mike. Welcome, whether you're watching live today, this afternoon, this evening, or later on when I post this on demand. Welcome. MikeGolfsOregon is the name of my channel, and I'm having live conversations with other golf YouTube channel owners and operators. Sounds kind of funny and a little official, but that's what it is. It's what I said. Tonight, I have someone whose channel I've been following for a long time, and he's coming. Mark, I didn't even ask where you're from. Let me guess.
Let's see if
I'm
you know.
guessing it's. I don't know. I think it's like Connecticut.
Connecticut. You knew it.
Is that right?
Is.
It's Connecticut?
Yeah.
Okay. Coming from Connecticut, Mark, whose channel is MG Golf. As the thumbnail, the title of the video says, Mark has had a pretty incredible run from the get-go.
Yep.
And really looking forward to talk to him tonight, mostly about YouTube, mostly to geek out about the YouTube side of YouTube Golf. So Mark, how are you doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing well.
Excellent, brother. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for carving time out of a busy schedule with little kids and everything else that goes on a Sunday evening to sit down and talk to some ding dong on the other side of the U.S. who has the same obsession and passion with YouTube Golf. So I really appreciate it. I want to jump right in.
Sure.
And I think the place to start, obviously, is with your channel. Can you tell me about sort of the history of your channel, how you got started in golf YouTube? Because you said in a previous conversation with me, right, that this was not intended, this was not planned, and I'm kind of curious what that means.
I mean, you did the research on my channel, right? I don't remember the date of my first post. Was it 2017? Does that sound right? Or maybe even later than that?
I think it's about that. It's quite a ways back.
Yeah, so I don't know what I was planning when I started the golf channel. I've actually, this is probably my 4th or 5th channel that I've had.
Okay.
And this is just the one that kind of stuck for me just because it was, I'm out there golfing anyways. And I love creating and just making videos. So it kind of just worked out that I figured out how to do it pretty quickly and just ran with it. It wasn't the prettiest thing at first, whether it be the golf or the production of it, but just, figuring out as I went. This is just the one that stuck with me. Like as long as I've been online, YouTube has been my vice. That's my go-to. Like I don't like Instagram. I don't like TikTok. I don't like short form content in general, but YouTube, just something about it, like the purest form of it, like more so back in the day, is just what I really enjoy. And that's what I kind of wanted to bring to golf that wasn't existing at the time when I started.
Yeah, I feel like we probably share a lot of similarities there. Now, I've tried a few shorts here and there, but I don't like short form. I don't watch it. I'm not on any other social media. I've been on YouTube since I've been on YouTube since pre-2010, but account since 2013. You said this is like your 3rd or 4th channel. And Bard Albert, what is this about? This is really about YouTube golf and having a YouTube golf channel, and talking to Mark about his channel and how he's grown his channel. That's pretty much what it's about. But you said you had this is like your 3rd or 4th channel. What were sort of the other channels? Do you still maintain any of those channels?
One of them. So are you familiar with Think Media, just like the content creation channels?
Yeah.
So I just, at a certain point, I was just like, I want to do this. And I was kind of getting into it. I started a couple channels. My biggest thing before golf was actually BMX. And I was like, I'm going to try that. It's kind of hot right now. This was way back in the day. And I just did not have the confidence in front of the camera. So I was constantly just me pointing the camera at someone else, like, do something good. And it just never took off. I was never comfortable putting it online. So that one was just basically a failure. And then I got really into researching Think Media, vidIQ, stuff like that. And it was just like, they just say, just press record, just do it. So I did 2 faceless channels. One was long form and one was short form, basically just taking assets from online, whether it be just music tracks, those long, 2-hour, just study music ones. Yeah, exactly. I tried one of those and it's not fun. There was no creation to it. It was just steal from over here, steal from over there, mash it together and make a thumbnail. I did another one that was basically the same thing in short form, and that same thing, it wasn't fun. Sure, shorts were kind of taking off, but it wasn't doing it for me.
Mm-hmm.
My main other channel I still have going is actually a family like vlogging channel. And that wasn't supposed to be what it is right now, because that got monetized off of one video. So that was basically like, you remember home videos back in the day when your dad
Yeah.
would have like the big camcorders on VHS? Yeah, dude, that. So I wanted to make videos like that, but just polished it a little bit bigger than that, but just more polished with background music. And basically YouTube was just my cloud storage, so that like if my grandmother or someone wants to just watch a video, they could go find it. So it was
Mhm.
always public. I made one video that just absolutely blew off, like just for the size of my channel being small. I think at this point it's like 1.6 million views on it. So that one I do retain working on that one and putting a little bit of effort into it. That's what I focused
Yeah.
on a lot this year, actually. I think we spoke about this. I kind
Yeah.
of took a break from the golf stuff this year to work on that one, just to experiment a little. But yeah, I call my golf channel, even though it's smaller, that's my main channel.
Okay. So what's the size of the other, like the family vlog channel?
That one's at like, I think it's 8,900 right now,
Okay.
something like
So
that.
that's good size, right? I
It
mean, you're
makes more
talking to somebody who's,
it makes more money than my golf channel does.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Is there a difference in, because, and we can get into this later, right? The way YouTube pays, right, is based on what it's a per watch hour or per watch minute or something. What is it, CPM?
yeah, it's per click actually. It's just it's there's CPM and RPM. So CPM is what the advertiser pays to YouTube. So let's say that's 100% of the marketing that they have. The cut for the creator, I believe, is 55%, and that's called RPM. So that's revenue per mil, which is every 1,000 views you get X amount of money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's how that
And
works.
and does it vary based on niche?
Big time, big time. It's
Okay,
huge.
so what's the difference? I mean, if you know, and yeah, it's kind of fine. We just drill down into the nuts and bolts like right away. That's totally fine. But what's the difference in that variation between like your family vlog channel and your golf channel?
I'll pull up my analytics right
Okay.
now, and I'll take a look. But the golf one, let's say my latest golf channel. I should have had this ready, but let's say this one right here. All right, so 2 videos ago was 1,800 views. The rev, where's my rev on that one? That one was RPM of $6.63 per 1,000 views, which
Okay.
is it's pretty high for, I mean, you could look at like the gaming niche is probably going to be like $1 to $2, but there's so many variables into it, like
Mm-hmm.
length of video, the target audience, the location of that target audience, like everything goes into it, the size of your channel. So I can look at I'll grab one from my family channel. This one has 14,000 views on it, and the revenue on that one is $10.93 per 1,000. So it's a little bit higher, but that's because the target audience of that is for people that are going to be spending money. It was actually a vacation. So I don't know if you're familiar with Great Wolf Lodge. I did a video there, and that's people that are specifically looking at this video to travel there to spend money. So advertisers see that as, this person's ready to spend money, I'm going to throw some commercials in front of them.
Yeah. You mentioned video games, and your channel is about golf, but incorporates, at least more recently, right, incorporates a lot of elements from gaming, both sound effects, graphics, everything else. I mean, you got the Zelda neon over your head there.
Yeah, I do.
Can you tell us about that? What are those different elements that you try to incorporate in, and where did they come from? And when did you decide to add them? Was it a coincidental interest or a conscious effort to say, I'm going to do an intersection between golf and gaming?
First, it was just for fun, and then it was a very direct decision. So when I like to listen to just like lo-fi music in the background while I'm working my full-time job, and a lot of times that'll be video game music, like the Zelda soundtracks just done up in lo-fi. I'm like, oh, I should toss that into my video. I enjoy it, maybe someone else will. And then I started thinking about my target demographic, which I would like to be just people like me, my age, just males, 28 to 40, let's say, that grew up on the same video games, things like that. And I'm like, this might just resonate with some people to where, let's say, 1 out of 10 people is like, oh, that's a Zelda song. I like that. Subscribe, get them to come back just based on that, like almost nostalgia factor, but just people that I want to be my viewers,
Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's kind of cool. I've always liked that, there's almost an endless supply of little tags that you can add on, like audio tags that you can add on from video games and songs. That's actually a pretty smart angle. Let's go back to sort of the start of your golf channel, right? So the first 4 videos, right? The first 4 videos are just bonkers. Like the numbers are bonkers. Walk me through that. Walk us through like sort of those first 4 videos. Tell us about how that happens. All of a sudden you've seen this thing just go nuts.
Mike, if I knew, my channel would be much bigger. Like it was let's
start with this. What was the expectation when you posted that first video? Because this was not your first channel, right? The golf channel was not your first channel.
No.
So what was sort of what did you sort of expect? And it was the fitting video, I think, is the oldest one that I saw.
The fitting video, that one was, I made that one to help people. There was no, I wasn't looking for views. I wasn't looking for money. It was just specifically, the stealth was coming out from TaylorMade, and I saw, I didn't know at the time it was a sales thing, but it said a free fitting event, and I'm like, oh, cool, I want to go try this thing out. And all over YouTube, all over Google, just what is a free fitting event, and 0 videos. I'm like, I have to show people what this is like, and it turns out it was just a sales pitch. Yeah. But just getting that out there was just like, this is what you're in for if you're a high handicap like myself and you're going to a free fitting event. That's all it was. It was just to help other people. So I had the right intentions, and then I don't know why it blew up. It had to just be the hype of the stealth with that, the new carbon face. Mm-hmm. That is just what drove it. Had to be. It was just the right video at the right time with the right variables going on in the background. That was it.
Do you try to time? I mean, I know you've kind of you took a little time off from the golf channel, but when you're running it full time, right? Do you try to time it? I mean, do you have like, I guess, a posting schedule is what I'm asking.
I haven't with the golf channel. I tried it this year with the second channel, doing weekly. I was doing weekly uploads. I think I did that for probably 3 or 4 months just to see how it feels. And it is busy, dude. Like, and those are just easy, like vlogs, like A-roll with some B-roll just dropped on top of it and a soundtrack. That's it. Like, you see my golf videos, there is just, in my editing suite, there's like 7 to 8 tracks just full of junk. So it takes me weeks to get through those edits. That's like, if I have the time. I'm hoping in 2026 that I will be a little bit more regular. I do want to dive a lot harder into the golf channel because I think I'm done playing with the other one. I want to keep it alive, but it won't be my main focus for the next coming year. So I will try to I'll try to keep to like a 2-week schedule, hopefully.
Did you see a difference when you went through that period of like regular posting, weekly posting? What were the takeaways? Was there any benefit to it that you could tell from your analytics?
Analytics, there's no, I wouldn't say like each video progressively got more views or anything like that, because I was strictly going on SEO, just search-based videos basically. But doing that, having that schedule is just, it felt like, all right, I have to hit this deadline. It's more of a mental thing, and then also you just get so much more comfortable within your editing suite and just better at editing in general. Like, I have a friend of mine, he's just over 500,000 subscribers, and he said the biggest thing for YouTube is consistency. Just get something out there and just stick with it. Just keep it going, and you'll have a snowball effect. There's plenty of channels that, they have this slow takeoff, and then all of a sudden you get that bang video, and then you're off from there. So I 100% believe consistency is like number one for YouTube success.
I've got you'll love. I'm talking next Sunday. I'm streaming with Matt from Golf Perfection, and he is like a metronome. It is a video every Monday morning at 8 a.m. loaded, ready to go. It drops and off we go. And he's got a pipeline of footage, that he's, first of all, my question is, how do you end up with so much footage that you have a backlog? I've never had a backlog, right? I mean, maybe I've had like 2 videos or 1 video's worth of backlog footage, but to be as consistent as he is pretty incredible. And he's done it for years, and it's just one after the other, after the other, after the other.
Yeah.
And it's really kind of neat. And he certainly had success because of that, because of that consistency and getting that volume. I think it's about volume, right? You're getting a volume of work in the system.
Is, yeah,
right?
For sure.
So I can hear about it. That's probably a big thing. And that's sort of like, do you set goals for your channel? Because like one of the goals that I had this year for my channel was, and I don't follow a lot of the rules. I'm not very consistent. I should be, but I continue posting. I don't give up on it.
Yep.
One of my goals though was to have 100 long form videos by the end of this year, and I think this is like 95 or 96. Right, this will be once it gets posted to my channel. Okay. So I'm going to get right. I'll be right there because I think that at 100 videos you've kind of built that wall. But do you have channel goals for your golf channel?
I have one goal. Period. Doesn't matter what the channel is. The only reason I'm in YouTube is just I want a silver play button. That's it. That's the only reason I'm doing it. I do not care about the money at all. That's all I want. Something about my personality. I love having just a almost out of reach goal, just something to work towards, and that's what it is for me for right now.
So for those that don't know, the silver play button is what's the subscriber level for that?
That's 100K.
100K. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, it'll probably go right up on the wall behind you, next to the Zelda.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna shut down the YouTube channel though. Then I'm done with YouTube. There's no point.
No point after that. What about the gold or platinum? No.
Oh no, dude, a million? No way. I don't even want that, to be honest. You know what sucks though is they shrunk the plaques down. Did you know that?
I didn't. I think everyone I've ever seen is just the same. The big,
They were always probably this big, so maybe a foot and a half to 2 feet big. Ever since shorts came out, there's so many creators getting them that they shrunk them to less than a foot maybe. And it's such bullshit because I wanted one of the big ones so bad.
You're gonna give up on YouTube because of the trophy size just doesn't fit your wheelhouse?
I'm gonna go buy my own. I'm gonna just get mine and then upsize it. That's it.
Yeah. So you said you did like a I don't want to call it a YouTube guru channel, but like vidIQ, that is all they're like totally into how do you build channel success. What type of stuff were you putting out there? What type of advice were you giving people?
That was an idea. It never happened.
Oh, it never happened. Oh,
that one never happened. There was plenty of ideas in the noodle that just never happened.
Okay. So you're well, me for instance, what advice would you give me? What advice would you give someone who really truly approaches this as a hobby? It's just fun, especially these live streams with other people and just getting to know folks and building community. But I do want to see success. I do want to see progress and growth. But I don't want to go overboard with I've got to do all of this. I don't know. I don't want to lose the fun of the creative side and doing kind of what I want to do creatively, and not totally buy into the game.
So you're enjoying doing this. I really like what you're doing here because it's off the beaten path a little bit. It's just YouTube. It's like creator talk. It's podcast, but it's different enough to where it's just it's right outside the niche. And I actually really like what you're doing. I like that you've upgraded the system. You got the audio, you got the visual. It's all going really good. And my only if I were a good creator, my only thing that I think we've discussed this before is how you're going to package that thing together. Yeah, that's all it is now. It's just your title and your thumbnail. And we discussed previously is you're going to take your main topic that's going to reach the most people. You're going to slam that in the front. And then, you're going to get people that are just going to enjoy the banter, just enjoy hanging out with you. And that's how you're going to have your audience grow, at least from my viewpoint. That's what I would say.
Right. I found that, some of the other golf creators, golf channels that I followed are doing live stream stuff. And a lot of them have had a lot of success building subscriber base with it. But what ends up happening, or the feedback that I've got from them, is that is a completely different subscriber base than the folks that were watching their long form. Sort of like a lot of people that went to shorts, right? They rushed to shorts, built a big base with shorts, and then thought, well, I'll transition them to my long form videos, and it just doesn't seem to work that way.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Shorts and long they are two different animals. Like you and I just do not like short form content, but I think we both really enjoy long form.
Yep.
I think live is a bit closer to long form, where there's going to be more, overlay between the two. But there's going to be the homies that just want to hang out with like Joe Schmo that's, doing putting practice in his basement, like one of our friends.
Yeah, Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney Ray. And that's great. I mean, that's just, people are going to hang out. It's a good time. I would love to do live stuff. I don't know how to do it yet. One thought was doing it on the course, just phone out here in front of me, then pop it on a tripod. My big thing is just pace of play. I want to keep it going. I don't want to cause a ruckus on the course. I know people are very sensitive to that. But like, if it was a dead day and I could just pop out my phone and start live, I would love to do that.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but for me, the course that I play the most, my cell connection sucks out there. I don't know like how you do that and have like any sort of audio visual quality to it. I know there's guys doing it.
Yeah.
I've followed a couple guys that do it, and they'll stream both to YouTube and to Twitch and do a, it's like a 4-hour stream or a 3.5 hour stream. They're just out there playing 18 holes by themselves, streaming the whole thing. And it's kind of clunky because there's big, long gaps.
Yeah.
When nothing's happening and they're not talking, or they're walking to their ball or something. But I just can't figure out a way to do it where I could reliably be able to think that people are being able to see and hear me.
Yeah. You'd have to nail it down a few times. But to me, honestly, I think the best part would be those walking to the ball where you really get to interact and just talk to people, because that's what they're there for. I mean, it's called chat for a reason. They want to talk. That's what it's all about. And then you hit the ball, whether you hit a good shot or a bad shot, it doesn't matter. You're just hanging out with your friends online, really, at the end of the day.
You're playing golf the way you do normally with other people, right? Which is just walk and talk, hit a shot, walk and talk, hit a shot. Or at least that's how I play. Right. So if you ever crack that nut, let me know. Because I think I would like to at least try it. I'd like to at least try it. What about analytics? What do you pay attention to when you post a video? Here's like, for instance, I posted, I went to Bandon last week, and I just had a bunch of random clips that I'd taken, some shots that I'd taken, and pictures and stuff, and I put them together in a short video, post it. In analytics, what I care about now is watch time. I look at my watch time, overall watch time. But I always like to see views. For me, a silly little metric for myself is I want more views than I have subscribers, which is probably easier now at 340 or whatever subscribers than it is as you get larger. But what metrics do you pay attention to once you've posted some content up on any one of your channels, actually?
Two main things are going to be just click-through rate is number one, and then retention and just average view time kind of go hand in hand a little bit. So my last video did not perform well. I think that one's at like 300 something views, so like way lower than my normal. And I tried packaging it differently. It was that stupid Amazon ball video.
Yeah.
So it was a full 18-hole, just regular course play using the Amazon ball. I kind of talked about it a little bit during the video. So I packaged it with, the Amazon ball, just in the title, in the thumbnail, just everywhere. It's like, this is what it is. And it did not perform. It was at like 3% click through. So I was like, maybe it'll get there. Maybe it'll get there. I waited 2 days and it did not change. I finally changed it to my normal, 13 handicap golf. This is what it looks like kind of thing. And now it's slowly rising to 6-7%. And it's just kind of fluctuating in there. But the only problem is all my impressions, I had 7,000-8,000 impressions during those first 2 days. It just killed the click-through rate. So even though I'm up here currently, it's still stuck down here just as an average. So click-through rate is number one. And that's something I got to pay attention to more, is like, if it's not working in the first day, I have to change it. And that sucks because I don't like my title and thumbnail. I'm so sick of them. It's the same, just copy paste one every single time. I
Yeah.
want to change it, but it just,
Yeah.
it's like a comfort thing. I got to fall back on it if I want performance.
Well, and that's sort of it. Like if you're playing the game, right? If you're playing the YouTube game and you find a formula that works, you use it until it doesn't work. But the trade-off is you feel like you do, which is I really want a new title. I want a new format.
It's
right?
stale.
Yeah. I get that.
The second thing I would watch is just average view duration. So how long someone's sticking around for. You have your retention curve, which is, at what point are they clicking off? How long are they lasting? But the actual average view duration. So if I post a 9-hole video and an 18-hole video, the 18 is longer and YouTube wants to push those longer, just get more eyes on it for a longer time. So even if the click-through rate is worse, that one's going to perform better. My last two were the 18-hole and a 9-hole. And that one was 7% click-through rate, but it was, let's say, like 6 minutes long, but a really solid 7% click-through rate. It just flatlined at like, I don't know, under 1,000 views, I believe, but just did not perform the same at all.
Yeah. I've started paying a lot of attention to impressions and how many impressions, because that's what's key. If you're not getting impressions off the get-go or relatively soon, then something's wrong with your title. Something's wrong with how you're packaging, what you're putting out there. At least that's my impression, and the research that I've done on it is really that, like, if you're not getting impressions, then that's sort of like the quick reset for me, is that impression. It means my title's off, or something's off with the title and the way it's packaged.
Yeah. And what's funny is, with the algorithm, you can see, if you go into your graph with the impressions, you could see where its test point, it kind of stops a little bit. And then it's like, oh, this one's doing good. You see it just a tiny little shelf. It goes up a little bit and then another shelf. That's all their little test points. So, there's something actively working and gathering data, and then, has some feedback based on that. So, it's working. So I would, before it manages to plateau at one of those shelves, if you don't like what you're seeing, change it before it reaches that shelf. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Okay. And sometimes, like, you can highlight on the graph the before and after, and you can see each shelf is like 1,000 views. It's like, basically, we're going to send it out to 1,000. We're going to give it 1,000 impressions and gather the data, come back, rework it, do it again, maybe a couple of days later, or a week later, or 2 weeks later. It's frustrating, right? It's frustrating. You're like, just put it out there.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the game they're playing, especially for, smaller channels that are just starting out. Like, if we go back to my fitting video, that one took a while to really blow up. It was just, flatline for days. It might have been weeks, and all of a sudden, a little bit, and then just exponential growth. It's just, it has to find that viewer that wants that video. It's just, it's a tough game to play sometimes.
That reminds me. So one of the things that I was reading about and listening to some of the, I don't remember if it was vidIQ or one of those kind of channels over the last week, talking about how Google has now fully incorporated Gemini into YouTube, and how that's sort of changing what you do on the creator side, and the importance of different things versus, maybe say a year ago or even 6 months ago. And basically being that Gemini, the use of Gemini for categorizing content and identifying what kind of content it is, what the vibe is, that it's so much more detailed and over the top than any of the algorithms ever could have possibly been, because it's actually watching the video. It's watching the video, and it's getting the vibe, it's getting the content. So, like, you could probably go with nothing and it would say, this is clearly a golf video. And then based on what you're saying in the video, it starts categorizing. Have you heard any of this stuff? Because what's seemed to happen is probably some of the older videos I have that are packaged really terribly, because I was even worse than I am now when I put them out, is that they're starting to get views. And just oddly, out of nowhere, videos from like 2 years ago, not a lot of views, but picking up. Have you seen this or heard any of this?
I haven't heard that. I mean, I knew YouTube was always in your video. Like, they know before. This was recently, you said?
Yeah, this was last week. I was watching a bunch of videos on how the incorporation of Gemini, and they're doing it like with the browser too. Like the Chrome browser now is basically you can opt in to just use a Gemini browser.
Oh,
But they've fully incorporated Gemini into sort of the back end side of YouTube.
hmm I
So
haven't heard of that, but YouTube's always been able to, look at your video, know what you're saying, know that it's a golf video. Even if you never say the word golf in there, they know just by context what it is. I did
mhm.
see an update. I assume it has to do with the Gemini thing that when you hit the like button, that like in a golf channel, like a little golf ball will pop up and roll
Yeah,
roll away. That's got to be part of the Gemini thing. I tried it
yeah,
out on my buddy's car channel, and it's like a little drag tire spinning out or something, and like smoke coming off. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I had
yeah,
no idea that that was part of a whole bigger thing, though. That's interesting because
yeah. I've seen it.
it's always been that like everyone says like tags aren't important, and um, if you got to have your keywords in there for SEO and this and that, but they know where the video is going. They know who it's made for. They have all the metadata for it. It's all there, but now it's
Yeah,
just going to be better. I would assume.
yeah. Well, hopefully, I hope it is. I hope it. My hope, and this is the lazy side of me, is that it puts less emphasis on the creator to have to, make sure that you're doing all the tags, that you're optimizing for keywords, and that maybe some of that will be alleviated. But I don't know. Maybe that's just probably wishful thinking, because folks will always figure out the best way to optimize and game whatever Google or YouTube is using, right, to categorize and push videos. People are always going to sort of figure that out or figure
Yeah,
out what works best and do it.
yeah.
But the lazy side of me really hopes they make it just easier, and I can just put up a thumbnail, put up a title, call it good, hit post.
Oh, imagine if you could just take a screenshot of your video, just no editing, just here you go, this is it, and Gemini takes care of it.
Well, I mean, I did. I used to, but there was no Gemini to take care of it.
Yeah.
Right? You used to just throw them up there. Speaking of, so editing, what software do you use? What's sort of your process for editing? I know there's
DaVinci. I use
you
DaVinci,
use DaVinci. Okay.
the free version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a feeling that the paid version is probably way too powerful for anything that we're probably doing.
There's one thing in there that I thought about doing. It's auto subtitle generation.
Uh-huh.
Because do you remember, like, I want to say it was like 2 years ago after the Mr. Beastification, like everybody had subtitles with the yellow border in it. Like I was like, I should start throwing that in there. And then it was like, oh, DaVinci has that. And then you go to hover over it. It's like, oh, you got to pay $300 for that. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
not
maybe not.
happening. But
Yeah.
that would be useful if that was something that you wanted, I assume.
Do you go through and put in your own subtitles? Do you clean through it and clean it up?
No, not for like the entire video. I think I did maybe 2 videos where it was just the intro, just some popping shit to get people to stick around and look at it. On the second channel, I have more of like a hook line that I'll make for each video, and I will do subtitles for those where they're just, pop, 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 get your eyes stuck there so you stick around for at least 8 seconds. But that I don't do an entire video for the closed captions.
Yeah, I've done a few. It's so much work. And then cleaning up the auto ones is, the auto generated ones is almost as much work as just writing out your own.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the auto generated is good enough for me.
For sure.
Have you tried listening to your videos in another language yet?
I haven't done that yet.
Oh, Mark,
Is that
it is a
live?
trip.
Is it?
It is an absolute trip. Like, just go watch one of your golf vlogs, switch to Spanish or whatever, because not only is it in Spanish, but it actually sounds like you
Really?
speaking Spanish. Oh yeah, it's wild. I did it in French, and I wanted to download my video in French and send it to my high school French teacher, and just give her kudos for how well she taught me.
Oh.
It's really pretty wild, but it kind of makes me think less and less about putting in the effort to do. If they can make it speak like me, sound like me in whatever language, 50 different languages, I probably don't need to type through all of my my closed captions.
No, your efforts are best placed elsewhere for sure, definitely.
Yeah.
But
Um,
that's interesting only because like all of the bigger channels, like let's go back to Mr. Beast, like he has his Mr. Beast French, his Mr. Beast Spanish. Like, are those not even needed anymore? Like, is that going to change the game for YouTube? Like, in a
I
big
would think.
sense?
I would also think. I'm kind of curious whether that opens up the ability to promote or get impressions more globally.
Yeah.
Right. I've always had this. I've always wondered. Like, I would love to see at some point. I would love to see a map that shows where geographically where your impressions are being, basically where your video is being promoted and put in front of people geographically. I
Isn't
know
that in the
primarily
studio?
going to be North America, but I'm really kind of curious.
I think that's in the studio. I think you could do that. Yeah, I know you
Uh,
could get list format.
I know you can. I
Or
know
is that
you
just
can.
views?
I know you can pull up like which countries your views are from,
Yeah, but not impressions.
but I don't. I don't think I've seen impressions,
Hmm.
and whether you can control that or not by, downloading a French version of your video using the auto translate, me speaking in French and then reposting it and using, Google Translate to translate everything into French.
I mean
In your,
that's an easy second, third, fourth channel. Like,
I would think, but I don't know how to. I guess you can set a country. Can you set a country preference for when you start your channel? Say this is for France, and hope that it just primarily is targeting French speaking countries. I don't even know if it works that way.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all.
It sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
Which is violates rules 1 through 3 for me when it comes to YouTube.
Don't
Too
work
much.
hard.
Don't work too hard. I think the last couple videos, the less I've played around with them, the better they do, which is maybe more a statement of the quality of what I put out there. What would you give advice somebody who said, "Hey, Mark, I want to start a YouTube golf channel"? How would you get them started?
Don't do it. Do something else. Go
Like,
into
don't do it?
finances. Go into finances.
Well, not for a job, right? They want to do it as a hobby.
Do something. Do whatever you enjoy doing, like that. Because my channel was a little bit different. Like, I had those blow up ones at first. The 100,000 views they're at right now.
Yeah.
That's not what it is. Like, you're grinding for a while, and I was really spoiled because then I'm like, oh, this next video is going to get 20,000 views easily, and I'm barely getting 1,000 on some of them. It's just like I've almost like reached my baby stages. Like, I've backtracked and now I have to regrow it. But if it's something that you're enjoying doing, then just do it, and do it to the best possible I don't know, level that you can. Like, you've seen my channel grow. It's just every single video, it's just like, I am going to improve this and this. It's just every single time there's one thing better. And that's, you just start the channel with what you got and just do it to the best of your possible abilities. But you got to enjoy what you're doing. Like, I'm honestly, like, the let's play videos, just like the course vlogs, they're fun, but I want to experiment a little bit. So you might see some different stuff from me in 26. Like, I enjoy putting the camera in front of myself and just, selfie vlogging. So if that's what I want to do, I'm going to do it. And you just got to say, it's F the views for right now. I just got to get, my legs under me and just see what's working. What do I enjoy? And then is it pulling an audience that enjoys it as well?
Yeah.
That's how I would start at this point. It's just start your shit.
That's sort of where I'm at with this, right? Is like not getting huge views, which is fine. It is sort of like you said, getting your sea legs, seeing if there's an audience that enjoys this stuff. I think that there is. I don't know what the size of that audience is. I also have, my plan is sort of it's not always going to be just YouTube, other YouTubers. I've been reaching out to a couple of folks that are, on the lower pro circuits that are, trying to establish themselves as pros right out of college. I would love to have one or two of those guys on,
Definitely.
and girls, and talk about that journey and sort of what it's like to be an elite junior golfer, to get recruited and go play at a D1 level, and compete at a D1 level, and the pressure's there. And then what happens once you're done and you say, I want to go pro? What does that actually look like? What does that actually mean for these kids? Because that's a grind. And I think that's where I would love to go with this, is really just sort of a spectrum of Sunday conversations with people all over the golf universe, players, channels, equipment, whatever. But like you say, you just gotta, at some point, you just have to say, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to dedicate myself to doing this for a while and see if I can make something of it, if I can find enough people who are into this and enjoy the way I do it to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, you got to experiment a little bit, and it's you can't just do a couple videos and be like, that didn't work. Like, you got to put like a year in. Like, you got to get your 100 videos or so and be like,
got to get your 100 videos.
Is this where I landed with 100 videos? I mean, you can't just expect overnight success. Like, you can't hope for that viral video, because it only happens once. That it doesn't follow you.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not linear. So basically, YouTube is a lot of parallels with golf, and that progress isn't necessarily linear.
No, you should have seen my last round. I'm going to post a video like next week. It was horrible. It's so bad.
Yeah, I had fun yesterday and today. I had some pretty big blow up holes myself, and I'm like thinking the whole time, I'm so glad I'm not recording this, because I probably wouldn't. You get to that hole and it's like I've already shot 2 off into the woods, and I'll just turn the camera off and we'll start on the next hole. We'll start back up on the next one. Speaking of, so just kind of going back to the beginning, how did you get started in golf? How long have you been golfing? When did you sort of get into it? When did you get the bug?
It was alcohol. That was it. I want to say it had to be like 2017 or so. And me and my buddy were just out day drinking, just random, like Tuesday afternoon. Neither of us were working, so we were just bar hopping. Drove by the driving range and, drunk enough to pull in there and hit some balls, and just big slices. And you're like, that was fun. It was fun at the time. So I tried it again, and I don't know what the hell happened, but I just can't stop doing it. Like, you get that one good one where, like, even if it's a slice, if it feels good off the face, like, it's an addictive thing.
Yep.
So that was it. And then, all of a sudden you're on YouTube looking up, how do I fix a slice? And then you're watching hours of me and my golf videos, and you're on the golf course. That's it. Like, that was my story. It was just.
So yeah, you didn't grow up around people that golfed, and
no
family, nothing. No one sort of pushed you. It was alcohol. That's good.
Absolutely, dude. I was drunk at like 30 years old, and then just went to a driving range, and that's it.
That's a good golf origin story.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I wish I played younger, though. I do wish I played younger.
I do too. I had every opportunity to, and I didn't take it, and now I regret it. And I'm like, man, you see the people that do, it's a totally different thing once you've learned it as a kid. There's just parts of it that never go away, and their swings look so good. But whatever. I'm having a blast doing it now. Since you're in Connecticut, I'm assuming your season is pretty much over, or close to being over.
I think we're getting snow next week, actually. Yeah. It's 30 degrees right now. Yeah. So
how do you get your fix over the winter? Do you hit on sims, or do you just shut it down for a couple months?
I shut it down. I'm back in the day, I had time for sims. There's a decent indoor facility that has a couple like ranges, a nice chipping area, some indoor bunkers, and it's like freaking $10 for a full day access. Like, it's such a good deal, but it's just,
that's a great deal.
It is. It's super good, and I just don't have time for it. Like, I can't leave the kids for that long. Even just going golfing on a nice day is like, I got to make sure that they're taken care of, that my wife's not going to explode on me when I get home. That it's a whole different thing with kids now.
The worst golf in the world is guilty golf.
Dude, and then she's texting like, oh, when are you going to be home? I don't know. I just started.
Yeah, I'm very lucky my wife golfs with me, so that takes care of that issue. But guilty golf is just not a fun place to be. So what are your plans to do what are your plans for the golf channel over the off season? If you can't really golf, you're not really doing the sim thing, I know you do a lot of like product reviews, and we should probably talk about that too, sort of like your relationship with manufacturers and how those come about and what your thoughts are there.
I might just press pause over the winter. There's not much I could do the product reviews, like I just do them right here usually, but I
Mhm.
I want to get out on the course and feel this product. Like I'm not just gonna be like, oh, this thing's awesome, buy it. I need my commissions, but I want to get on the course and give you an actual good review. Like, how did I like it? What did I like about it? And go from there. But so it's really hard in the winter. I might do like a what's in the bag, just go to a sim and like get distances, something like that, do a gapping session. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I'm done for the winter. If the
Okay.
snow melts and there's a course open, I'll try and get 9 or 18 in, but that's unlikely usually.
When does your season typically start back up again?
April, probably April.
Okay.
But like it depends. If there's no snow, there's a couple courses around here that are open full like all year long. So even if it's completely just freezing out, I could still get out there and just kill myself doing it
Yeah.
just for YouTube. But
Yeah.
we'll
Well,
see.
you can play year round where I'm at in Oregon, but it's like you've got to be pretty hardy um, to really go year round because it just gets wet and cold.
Oh yeah.
And I'll still play. I love it. I'll play every weekend. But it is kind of nice. The courses empty out and you get the place to yourself a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But you just have to put up with little crummier conditions and a lot of mud and junk everywhere. But that's just kind of part of it.
Yeah.
The other part of that question that I asked you is equipment manufacturers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know you've done things with, what is it, Sunday?
Yep.
Sunday golf bags. There's been a couple. That's the one that jumps to mind. Tito's vodka. So tell me, how do those come about? How do those come about? Are you reaching out to them? They reaching out to you? What sort of that conversation look like? How does the relationship work? What are you asked to do? What are give us a view of what that's like.
Yeah, my first one was Primo Golf Apparel, and they just had, this was earlier in their days, before they had Grant, before they had Micah.
Yep.
It still felt like a startup, and you could just go on their website and just apply to be an affiliate. So I was on Instagram, probably I saw their pants, I'm like, oh, those look cool, I'll buy a pair. And then like I was still motivated on my golf channel, so I was like, oh, I'll do a review, I'll do that. So I might as well get an affiliate link so I could make some money off of it. And that one was just amazing when Grant got picked up in Micah, because my sales went through the freaking roof. Like, it was incredible. Like,
really,
so you get I think it's 15% commission rate with them. So like, as soon as I only had one video up, one long form video, and it was just a review on their joggers, their pants, Grant and Micah get picked up and they just blew up. Like, I think my first year with them, I made 10 grand just from Primo. It was amazing. Like, and now, but there's so many, like, they have grown to such a bigger business that it's harder to get those sales now, because Grant is part owner, but he still has that discount, the discount code.
yeah.
So I don't know how that works internally, but all that money goes to them now, because he's the one really pushing the product.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of other, once you hit, I want to say between 1,000 and 2,000 subs, you're going to start getting a lot of emails from companies that, want to throw you a t-shirt or, a polo and say, wear this, promote us. And when you're newer, it's like, oh, that sounds great, a free shirt. But
Mhm.
now I don't have time for that. I don't have time to promote a shirt. Like, what else do you have for me? What's your affiliate, your commission rate, and this and this and that? Do I like your product? And
Yeah.
like, I've always been with Primo. I love what they make. So I'm not going to promote anyone else. So even if I get an offer, I'm going to say, sorry, I don't want it. Same thing with Sunday. Sunday's been absolutely amazing. And they had the same feel where like they actually reached out to me looking for micro influencers, and they sent me a bag and they liked the video I made. So it's just been open communication back and forth since then. And it's just they're so easy to get a hold of. And I believe that is 15% as well commission rate. So
Okay.
I've sold a shit ton of bags this year.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm close to like $15,000 this year just from Sunday. So then I also have primo commissions that are sprinkling in here and there based off of 2 videos from years ago, just like, what are they called? Evergreen videos.
Yep.
You know, someone searches it, and it's going to pop up and like, all right,
Yep.
I'll hit the link. So it's just been like, commission wise, it's been amazing.
So
I
you'd
think
say I would assume that you're making a lot more off of affiliate commissions than you do off of ad revenue.
ad revenue this year for golf channel has been like less than $2,000,
Yeah.
maybe $1,000. Second channel, I think, is closer to like $3,000.
Okay.
But like the commission, I don't know if it's always like that. I think I just, once again, right place at the right time, hitting these companies when they're small. There wasn't a lot of content out for Sunday, especially in long form, because it seems like they focused a lot on Instagram short form, that like people want to see this bag in its entirety. So that's
Right.
what I did, is I made the long form videos, and they do really well, and they take care of me. They just, if I want something, I just send them an email. They send it out to me, and I make the video. I just don't want to fuck it up and not make a video or make a bad video. So
Or make
that's
a bad one. Yeah. Do they put any parameters? Do they put parameters on you? Like, we want you to highlight this or talk about this, or don't do this, don't do that.
That's the best thing, is nothing. They say,
Okay.
you know, get to it when you can. I had Ghost Golf hit me up, and you know, they're pretty large too, but they don't do an affiliate company. I'm like, I don't really need another bag, but it would be cool to diversify my channel, so it's outside of Sunday as well. But it's like, I don't want to mess with my relationship with Sunday Golf by promoting something else. That's because, you know, it's going to be a good golf bag. It seems like they have quality. I didn't want to ruin that relationship. And then at the same time, they had guidelines like, you have to say this, and this at you know, 30% to 50% through the video, and you have to deliver this to us in the next 2 weeks. I'm like, I can't, I won't follow that. So I just said, no, I'm sorry. And, you know, that's just what it was. But I get emails trickling in here and there, and I just say, sorry, I don't have the time for it, or I already have a relationship going with someone else.
Yeah. Hey, Roger, how's it going? I see Roger in the comments. Says thumbnails stand out. What's your process for making thumbnails?
Just blow the saturation up. Saturation contrast.
Yeah, it's true.
You find what's working inside the niche and try to copy it. Like, don't be a pure copycat, but just take the main idea of it and put your own twist on it, and then just picture it, you know, against all these other thumbnails in that window. And is this going to stand out? Is this going to jump out a little bit? You got to pay a little bit closer attention to your colors and like how they contrast each other.
Yeah.
It just make it pop out, but make it similar enough inside that niche so it's still a comfortable thing for that viewer that is used to that style of video.
Yeah, I think this is super nerdy, but even buying a color wheel or just like the Cliff's Notes of color theory and triads and all of how the colors work together is probably beneficial. I say that having not done it myself for my own thumbnails, but probably should.
It would probably work.
It probably works pretty well because there's a psychology behind certain colors and what works and what doesn't work. And what about face? Like, I don't have my face in a lot of my thumbnails, and I'm thinking maybe now I will. What's your theory on the face?
It psychologically, it makes sense because it's whatever it does, it makes people want to click. It does. Whether you're recognizable or not, like you throw up a Bob Does Sports video, you put his face in a video, like you're gonna have all these fans that click on it, regardless if it's BDS or if it's someone else featuring him. Like, you're clicking on that video. I experimented with it this year. I think it was last year actually, where it was like just this beautiful drone shot of like the foliage in New England with my face on it, and it just tanked. Just horrible click-through rate. So I had to switch it over. And I didn't want to switch it. I wanted to try this. I wanted to see what happened. And I was too late to it again. And it was another one of those ones that just flatlined under 1,000 views. But I do want to start utilizing that. But again, just look at within your niche, what is working right now, and just roll with it.
One of the things that I've noticed in thumbnails on the bigger channels, right, is that like, I think it's probably really easy for smaller channels or folks starting out to fall into, I don't want to call it a trap because I don't think it's a trap, but to fall into the habit, I guess is a better way of having your thumbnail be a very literal representation of what your video is, which is like, this is a shot from the video. And yes, I've amped up the colors and played around with it and done some editing to it, but it's very literal. The bigger guys aren't doing that. It is face, and it's like a VR golf background. That's not literal to what the video is.
Yeah.
And I think I may start playing around a little bit with that, but it just sometimes just feels weird to me to do that.
Yeah, a little clickbaity if it's not from that, but you have to play the game. At this point in YouTube, you have to play the game at least a little bit to survive.
You're gonna get buried. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's my biggest weakness is thumbnails. I hate doing thumbnails. I was thinking about subbing it out into like a Fiverr editor and just do something for me, because I hate doing it. But I'll make 3 or 4 of them and just use the A/B testing. I messed around with the title ABC testing as well, and I don't like how YouTube does it, where it's based on watch time as well. I want just who clicks on this, and that's it.
That's it.
It's not useful to me with the watch time at all.
Do you still do A/B testing for both thumbnail and titles?
I've only done it with titles once, and that was my shitty one that didn't perform, so I don't really have good data from it. But when I do a thumbnail, I'm usually doing something basic like colors, like with the red arrow, without the red arrow, me at the top of my backswing, or me like at impact, or even at the end. I'm doing small things that are like measurable, that I could see this performed this way, and then just repeat it maybe as needed. And I still haven't found any like clear evidence on what works best. So
I haven't either. And actually, I take that back. The only thing I have found that, and I can't say that it makes a huge difference, but it seems to anecdotally appears to make a difference, is if my thumbnail includes a shot tracer. Like, I can use the prettiest photo that I've got, or the prettiest frame that I'm able to extract out of my video footage, ramp up the colors, and to my eye, just visually, I think it looks great. But if I put it up against the same or very similar picture, same framing, and basically the same shot, but have a shot tracer in it, the shot tracer always outperforms it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's just extra. Like, if you're just Joe Schmo just recording his round, you're not going to put tracers in there, and nobody really wants to watch that either. So it just goes.
It's a way of saying I have shot tracers without putting the tag shot tracers on your video.
I've done it. I did it earlier. Shot tracers, 4K video. Like, I used all of it. Face cam.
Yep. I've done all of that too. So Roger also asked, what are good versus bad click-through rates? Is 3% good or bad?
It comes down to the person, really. For me, 3% is bad. A nice homeostatic place to be is like 6 to 8. If I hit 10, like, that's really good. That's going to be a good video. But it comes down to the person. Like, let's say you've always had garbage click-through rates, and like at 1 or 2, all of a sudden you have a 3. YouTube's going to be like, oh, this is better than normal. We're going to test it a little bit more. That's how I read the algorithm, at least, and that's what I've seen happen. It's based on your norms. Like, if I get a short video that's 6 minutes, someone watches it all the way through, and then I have one that reaches 5 minutes, they're not going to push that one. It comes down to your channel, really.
Yeah, I think this is also one of the reasons why I started, as I was following the analytics, started following really sort of my impressions. Because if you're not getting impressions, the click-through rate's really not telling you a whole lot. If you've got 300 impressions, your click-through rate is almost meaningless. In my opinion, statistically, it doesn't mean a whole lot. Because as those impressions go up, all the other metrics change drastically. And so if you can do whatever you can to get the right thumbnail, the right title, to get the impressions high or higher, I think to me anyways, it seems like those click-through rates the data is a little bit more valuable. And I've also learned, and I don't know if you've had this experience, but I know you did say that you follow the click-through rate, so it's probably you look at it differently. and you're probably looking at them closer in time, in real time. But if I go back and look at my click-through rates through the analytics page and look at like lifetime click-through rates for my videos, it gives a way different impression than if I'm constantly checking the data or the analytics on a particular video. My click-through rates are a lot higher than I thought they were, is basically what I'm trying to say. And I wouldn't have known that just by looking at it day to day, because on any given day, you're like, oh, it sucks. Look at that. It's terrible. But the lifetime click-through rates are different, which is, I don't know how that works, but.
Yeah, like, and also it depends on the life cycle of the video that you're talking about, because your click-through rate is going to be higher at the beginning just because they're promoting your video to the people they know are going to watch it. You know, your super fans or people that watch it all the way through, the guys that drop comments and likes, they're getting your video first. They're going to experiment more with the people that maybe they're subscribed, but they don't watch a lot. Then it's going to be the guys that watch sometimes but aren't subscribed. Then they're going to throw it out there. And that's when you'll see your click-through rate tank. Sometimes it's a good thing, like if it goes down, because they're throwing it out to a large audience there. And not everyone's going to grab at it, but you're going to get some new members of that audience. So sometimes it's good if it tanks. If it's at the beginning, you're screwed. So fix your thumbnail quick.
I had that exact thing happen with one of these streams. It's like the click-through rate was really high, and I was like, oh, whatever. The thumbs all look the same, but I guess it's doing good. And then it tanked. Well, it also the tanking coincided with a massive increase in impressions. Like it was like one of those total hockey sticks. And I had consistent views, not a ton of views, but good for me, consistent views over like a 2-week period. And it just never stopped. Impressions kept going up, views kept going up, watch time went through the roof, but the click-through rate was honestly, the click-through rate was less than 1%.
So what, like on a course vlog for you, what is a good click-through rate that you're happy with?
I want to be over 3. And again, it's all going to depend on how many, is it really getting pushed out there? I've gone back and looked at like sort of like the lifetime click-through rates for a lot of my videos. A couple of weeks ago, I went back and looked, and a lot of them are like in 6 and 8%, a couple up at 10% or over 10%, which was shocking to me because I never got the impression that any of my videos were getting those kind of click-through rates. And I don't know if there's like a lag period where, it's the data's lagging from when I looked at it or what, but but I want to be over 3%, and ideally I want to be over 6%. Do I get that all the time? No, but still trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work on the thumbs.
Yeah, but you can get a high click-through rate. Like I said, I had one that was at 7% and just flatlined. Like nothing changed. It was just it was a 9-hole video, so it was less watch time than my norm. So depending on what your norm is, if you exceed your norm for watch time and click-through rate, you're going to have a good video. It's going to take off. So it's all relative to your channel, really.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, Joe. I see Joe in the comments there too.
What's up, Joe?
Well, what else? What else have we not covered? Was there? I mean, I kind of exhausted my checklist of topics that I wanted to at least discuss or touch on.
Yeah, we talked about the fitting video. We didn't talk about my second. I think it was technically my third video that really put me over the edge. Just the high handicap video.
Those two, yeah.
That one was specific to perform. That one I did a lot of research, and this was, back in the day, the high handicap golf niche didn't exist like to what it does today. And the reason I found that out is because I was at 30 handicap, and I'm like, there's all these scratch golfers, all these, single digits I'm watching, and I'm like, I can't get there. I want to know what a 20 handicap looks like. What are they doing different that I am? It was me trying to become a better golfer, and the content wasn't there. So I was like, no one's really doing this. I want to show people what is 30 look like, because there's probably a 34 or 40 handicap that's like, oh, what's a 30 handicap doing that I'm not? Because that content wasn't there really. So that was my main reason, is it was a non-existent niche. I did my research. You go up in the search bar, you type golf, and then you see what autofills. You type in high handicap, what autofills there? What are people searching? What do they want to see? And then even the vidIQ tool that shows you how good that video performs based on search and based on how much content is out there, it was a high number. So it's like, I'm going to make this video. I know it's going to do well. I don't know it's going to do as well as it did. And like, even though it's one of my top performing videos, I tell people, don't watch that one. That one was garbage. That was my worst video out there. Please watch something new. Just because it was so bad. And yet it picked up that momentum, and it's still one of my top performing videos just because it had that momentum that built up. That it's, it has a ton of metadata built into it of all these golfers that have watched this video. So they're going to send it out to all these other people that are similar to those original people. And I wish it wouldn't. I wish it would just put out my new stuff.
Is it sort of an evergreen video? Does it just continually get views because of that?
It's continually usually it's in the top 5. I think it's in the top 10 right now. Almost my entire top 5. My entire top 5 is Sunday golf reviews. That's what and then below that is some random shit. My high handicap videos at number 8. But it's always performing. It always brings in a few bucks, and I could count on it for getting me some views. Subscribers roll in once in a while, but I don't really watch subscriber rate on that at all.
Okay.
I watch the new channel or the new videos to see what they're bringing in.
Okay. How what does that look like? New subscriber counts, like on a weekly basis. What's a good week?
It's low right now. I almost don't want to share it. Last 28 days is 12 subs.
Well, you haven't been posting, right? You haven't been posting that much.
Yeah. What I typically count on with a new video is to have a 1% rollover. So every 100 views I get on a new video, I will get 1 subscriber, which I think is really good. It used to be 0.5% on the older ones, and then before that was even a fraction of that. But the newer ones, I believe, are well produced enough. And also the fact that I'm putting a call to action. Normally it's subscribe. That it's like a 1% rollover into subscriber for new ones.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's once I just have to get consistent. I got to put videos out and just stick to it. And I know that I will see growth, because I don't want to sound like a dick or like cocky, but I know my videos are produced well and there's some good stuff. Even if a lot of people say when they watch my video, they're like, oh, the golf's okay. The production's really good. That's like the number one thing I hear from people. So I know I'm doing at least something right.
Yeah.
So it's just, for me, it's consistency. I gotta get out there and make videos.
That's one of my mantras, is just try to make bad golf watchable, which means, try to put your best effort into your editing process, into, I spend a lot of time when I'm not on the course thinking about like camera placement, angles, where's the sun, where's, what kind of light, what new angles have I not used on the course that I could use that are dramatic? Because there's some dramatic features on my course that I haven't really showcased yet, that I'm just trying to find the right way to work them in visually into a course vlog.
And you could get some nice cinematic stuff. I usually try to angle it so it's easiest for the viewer to understand what's going on. Like in my videos, I have the map overlay with the tracer on top of that as well. I want the viewer to know what's going on the course as best as possible. If I could throw in some nice cinematic, a little bit of bokeh in the background, great. But I mostly just want the viewer to have a good experience and know this is what the course is like. This is what he's playing and where he's aiming, at least. That's my biggest goal.
I don't know what to do with that for me personally, because I record so many rounds on the same course. And to me, it seems repetitive, but every video is, an opportunity for a lot of new people to see for the first time.
Absolutely.
And so I never really know, like, okay, should I just do this every time? Just talk about it as if it's, your first time, and explain the whole and explain this and explain that.
Yes.
I kind of like go back and forth on that.
Do it. Yeah. Make your videos for new people. Like I have a handful of people that I can count on viewing and dropping comments, and I love those guys because I can always count on them. But my videos I make for new people that are seeing this. They've never seen this course before. There's billions of videos out there and billions of people. Chances that they've seen my video already are slim to none. So I'm going to make it as easy as possible.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good advice. That's something I should probably work on in the coming year.
Yeah. And the
Good.
Google overlay is an easy way to do it too.
I know, and I haven't done it. And I know Shot Tracer Pro has the map overlay as well,
Yeah.
like built in. Or you can get the app, add it onto the app. So that's something I need to probably start incorporating on any sort of course vlogs. But
Yeah.
well, Mark, yeah. So Mark, we're 10 minutes over an hour. I told you I'd keep it to about an hour. So I want to respect your time, but I certainly appreciate you coming on and sharing your knowledge and your experience on YouTube. I know you and I will continue talking offline and through the Discord and through each other's comment sections. Usually, that's how I've met most of these guys. But I certainly appreciate it. I would encourage everyone to check out, subscribe, MG Golf. And any last words you'd like to share about your channel, about your experience?
No, like this video, subscribe to Mike.
Like
Drop
this
a
video,
comment
yeah.
down below. Let us know which part of the video that you like so that he knows what he should do next time he interviews someone that's a lot better than me at golf and at making videos. And just check out his next video when he puts it out.
Yeah, I'll quickly answer. Joe asked a question about the approach to getting equipment reviews. Joe, we had a good segment on that, and I will go back through and timestamp this, and you'll find a timestamp about working with affiliates and equipment deals, because Mark's got some pretty interesting stuff to share there about his experience in that part of the channel building. So look for that when I post the video back to my channel. So, all right, Mark, I appreciate it. I look forward to the next video. Maybe it won't be until April because you got to make it through a winter.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And have a great evening.
All right. Later, Mike. Later, chat.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.